friends, this video on physical and chemical changes part 2 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Now broadly there are two types of changes which we are going to discuss. One is a physical change and the other one is a chemical change. So let's see what is physical change and what is chemical change. So we will start our discussion with physical change. Now, as the name suggests, the change is with respect to the physical properties. So, when the change is such that the differences are noticed with respect to physical properties. What do you mean by physical properties? Those properties which can be observed, which can be measured, which can be seen from outside. They are called physical properties. So, let me give you some examples of physical properties. For example, color, shape, size, appearance, texture, smell, melting point, boiling point. So these are all physical properties because you can actually see them or you can actually measure them from outside. So they are not internal properties. So they are all external. So these kind of properties, when there are changes in these physical properties, the change is said to be a physical change. Now, mostly the physical changes are reversible change. Reversible, something which can be reversed. So that means the change has taken place and again the change can come back. So let's take an example, a very simple example of your haircut. So hair is a physical property. It is something which can be seen from outside. The length of the hair can be measured from outside. So it is a physical property. So when you go for a haircut, what happens? The size and the shape of the hair changes. So it is a physical change. Now, do you think that it can be reverted back? Yes, of course, because your hair will again grow. So again your hair will grow and again you can go for a haircut. Right? So basically these kind of changes, they are physical changes. Let me give you an example. Let us suppose you take the example of water. So water, ice and water vapor. So all of these, if you look at their chemical composition, all of them is nothing but H2O. This is also H2O, this is also H2O, this is also H2O. But there is a change that is happening. Why is that change happening? Due to difference in their physical properties. So if you look at ice, ice is solid. The appearance of the ice is very much different from the appearance of the water, which is liquid. Again, the appearance of the vapor, which is a gas, is a lot different from solid and liquid. So due to these changes in physical properties, this change has taken place. But the chemical composition still remains the same. So this is an example of a physical change. So we are now going to discuss about some more examples of physical change. So the first example we will take is breaking of a glass. If a glass breaks, what happens? What changes? The shape of the glass changes, of course. Initially it was one complete glass. Now it is like broken pieces of glass of different shapes and sizes. So the size changes, shape changes. What else changes? The texture, the appearance also changes. But do you think that because of this change, a new substance is being formed? Chemically, whatever glass was, the same chemical composition remains even after breaking into pieces. So there is no change in the chemical composition. Just the size and shape of the glass alters. So therefore, this is a physical change. Now you might ask that once the glass breaks, I cannot join it to form the same glass. Yes, you can. If you become a little more imaginative, you can actually think how the small pieces of glasses can be used to make a new glass. It can be used. Maybe you cannot do it instantly, but it is not impossible. It is possible. Maybe if you take small pieces of glass, in fact, that is how all the glass objects are being manufactured in the factories, with pieces of glass molded together. So, of course, it is reversible as well. So, this is an example of physical change. Again, if you take example of a paper being cut into pieces. So just think of this newspaper and just think that you have cut this newspaper and torn it into pieces. So what do you think changes in this case? Initially it was just one single rectangular piece of paper. Now it is like multiple pieces, each of different shapes. So the shape has altered, the size has altered, but again the chemical composition of paper is still the same. No new substance, no new chemical substance has formed. So this is again an example of a physical change. Think of breaking an egg. Now please note that here I am talking about breaking an egg. So we are just breaking the egg. So when we break the egg, we are not altering the chemical composition of the egg. So the egg is still remaining the same. There is no change in its composition. It's just that the size changes, the shape changes, the appearance changes. So in fact, you can even think of restoring the same egg with a little more imagination, thinking that you will just join all the pieces together. So this is again a physical change. Think of chopping a log of wood. So when you're chopping the wood, log of wood, what happens? The size changes, of course, because you are actually breaking it. So you see, it is actually coming out in small pieces. So size, shape, appearance, they are changing, but again the composition remains the same. So whether to determine if a change is a physical change or a chemical change, one important trick is that if any new substance with new chemical composition is being formed, that means definitely it is a chemical change. But as long as no new substance is formed, it is always a physical change. And if you observe more carefully, you will see that all physical changes are mostly reversible. So you can actually revert them to get back to the original substance in some or the other way. Think of a mixture of water and sugar. So when you mix sugar with water, what happens? So you get a sugar solution because sugar is highly soluble in water. So it easily dissolves in water. So you get a solution. But do you think that chemically a new substance is being formed? Now initially also it was sugar, it was water. So chemically it was H2O. And chemically what was sugar? Maybe let's say it is C6H12O6 or whatever. Now even after you mix both of them, they do not react with each other to form a new substance. It is just a mixture of the two substances, but they are chemically still the same. So no new chemical substance is being formed. And moreover, if you want, you can separate it as well. Sugar and water, even though they dissolve with each other, but there are so many processes by which you can also separate them. Not only sugar solution, if you think of a solution like salt and water, if you mix salt with water, then also you will get a salt solution, that is NaCl, when mixed with water. So there also they do not really react with each other. If you start boiling the salt water, what happens? The water will evaporate and you will be left over with the salt. So you can actually separate water and salt. So it is again a reversible process. So this is again a physical change. So when you mix these kind of substances which mix together to form a solution, but actually chemically they are still remaining the same. They are not forming a new chemical substance. And moreover, they are also reversible changes. So this is also a physical change. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more educational videos with a better experience. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for latest updates. Thank you once again.